Season on the line for Boston and New York later today. The AL Wildcard game with the Yankees giving the ball to Garrett Cole. And then the Red Sox, they'll start Nathan Eovaldi on the opposite side. These two going toe-to-toe later tonight. Cole entering the wildcard game with 16 wins on the season, but didn't have the best September. But here's the thing. This is the reason why the Yankees signed him not too long ago in October. Eovaldi doesn't have the numbers 11-9 on the year, but for Cole, he's not sugarcoating it. He has to lock in against this Red Sox lineup.
I mean, I think I'm just going to have to be on top of my game. I'm going to have to locate pitches in big spots. I think, some poor location, to some really good hitters got us in a bit of a hole early. So it's going to be a similar situation. They got a lot of good hitters, and, we're going to have to make pitches in those situations, in order to be successful.
I'm just real excited to be in this situation. We fought hard to get here to this point, and once you get into the playoffs, anything can happen. I think it's about the team that gets the hottest and, that can continuously, go out and do the little things right.
So here's how the numbers break down between this matchup later tonight. The 31-year-old Cole saw his ERA kind of jump to 4.14 post All-Star break and that record of 4-4 in 12 starts. Against the Red Sox, the ace has a 2-2 record, allowed 5 home runs in 4 starts. For Eovaldi, he's been the best starting pitcher for them this season with 195 strikeouts on his resume this season. So let's get into it with the World Series champ. Middlebrooks has seen this play out before. Later on tonight, it's going to be interesting. But let's start on the mound with these two, Cole and Eovaldi. What have they done up to this point? If you're looking at the ace, how can one or the other get it done later?
This is the matchup you want. I mean, 2 legendary franchises, 2 aces. Eovaldi's been the guy who's been the stopper this entire season for the Sox. Anytime they needed a big win, anytime they needed to stop a losing streak, he got it done. So this is a big game for them tonight. But if I'm going to break down these pitchers and tell you what they need to do better to win at this game, this big wild card game, it comes down to the fastball. These guys throw 100. If you can locate 98 to 101 and get ahead of hitters, all of a sudden that slider, that curveball, that changeup is much better. Garrett Cole, we've seen him struggle with his off speed since the sticky substance when the league came down on that. But once he made his adjustment and started to locate his fastball, all of a sudden your off speed doesn't have to be as good when you throw that hard. As a hitter, you have to start your swing a little bit earlier. So the Cole issue for me is I'm going to look at the temperatures here as well. All right, it's going to be colder here. How's his grip on the baseball going to be? He has struggled a little bit his last 3 starts as well. 7.6 ERA over his last 3 starts. 1-2 with a 6.2 ERA at Fenway Park this year. If I'm a New York fan, I know he's Garrett Cole, but I'm a little worried. And like I said, with those temperatures dropping, that cool air at night, it's going to be a lot tougher to grip the baseball without sunscreen and rosin or even more.
All right, we'll see how that pans out between those two on the mound. Let's get a dugout a little bit. We're talking skipper Aaron Boone here. Look, has led the Yankees to this point. We remember the 13 straight wins. We were kind of praising them jumping into that wild card. But if we're getting beyond tonight and we're talking about the future for Boone, is it kind of hanging in the balance depending on what happens between these two in this game tonight?
For me, it shouldn't be. I mean, you look at his resume. 2018, 2019, he won 100-plus games. They went to the playoffs. Shortened season last year. Didn't have a great record. Got to ALDS, got beat by the Rays. They went to the playoffs again, and here they are in the playoffs again in 2021. I think he should get extended. I think he's a good manager. I don't think he is the issue here. I know someone has to be the scapegoat when there's issues and failure, but why not look upstairs at Brian Cashman? He built this team. He built a one-dimensional team, an offense that could only hit home runs. Now, that team figured out that that's what they needed to do to win, and we saw over the last 2 months that that's who they were, and that helped them win and get into this position. I don't think it's Aaron Boone's fault. When you look at managers in the big leagues, they manage pitching changes, who comes in the game, when you take your starter out. But when it comes to the offense, that's the player's fault, and who built that lineup and who put that team together. So I'm looking more at Cashman here than Aaron Boone.
Of course, anytime you are in New York, you're always on the hot seat, no matter what the record is, or even if you make it to a postseason, as we're seeing now. By the way, led them to that AL East crown in 2019. All right, we're talking about the pitchers a little bit. They'll face a lot of bats here. If you're looking at a duo more impactful, Stanton and Judge or Bogaerts and Devers?
Hey, I love Bogey and Raffy, but there wasn't a better duo in baseball outside of Stanton and Judge. They put up historic numbers. They carried that offense like a backpack in the second half. August and September, Look at what they did combined. 35 home runs and 97 RBIs over 2 months. That's compared to only Babe Ruth and Lou Gehrig. Ever heard of them? 1931 season, they combined for 34 homers and 122 RBIs. This is the most powerful 1-2 punch in baseball when they're healthy. They just haven't been healthy together very often the past 3-4 years. So to see that this year and what they're able to do, that is super scary if you're Nathan Eovaldi tonight.
Yeah, the Twin Towers, we thought we'd see this a few years ago when they first teamed up there in New York, but now it's panning out in a big way and hopefully later tonight. Put me in the seats here of a player. When you're playing at Fenway, why is it so special this time of year, Will?
There's just something about those fans. It's the passion there. I know a lot of teams have passionate fans, but I played in 5 different cities. Boston was by far the most special when it came to the fans and the passion, the sound at the stadium. Fenway Park's old. We know that. It's been there for all time, it seems. It only holds 37,000 people, and that's after they've added more seats every year. Yankee Stadium holds 54,000, and it doesn't sound the same. There's on top of you. There's the history there. We'll see Dave Roberts here still in the big bag. There's all the history. We call it the ghost of Fenway, and they just seem to appear in the postseason, and big moments always seem inevitable, like they're going to happen, and it always seems to happen for the Red Sox. For whatever reason it may be, that is just the most special place to play in the postseason.
All right, we'll see how that pans out later tonight. Let's get your expert pick and your best bet in tonight's game here, the AL Wildcard. What you got?
My best bet. Hold on, guys. Hold on. Let me just. I got something under here.
No, he did.
I just thought I'd break.
Oh, no.
Do I need to say it?
What's on your finger there, buddy?
That's
not the wedding ring.
Just some metal. It's just some metal.
Okay.
All right.
Okay.
I got to go with the Sox tonight. This is the best home team in baseball. 281 batting average, best in baseball. 831 OPS, best at home in baseball. 5.8 runs per game, best in baseball. I'm taking the Sox at home tonight.
Wow. Okay. No, I appreciate that. But let's backtrack a little bit, Will. Let's just backtrack. You remember about 43 years ago, 1978. I think we have the footage. It's a little grainy, but you might remember this. Bucky Dent. Bye-bye three-run jack. Do you remember that?
I would not remember this. This was 10 years before I was even born.
But it's in the history books.
My dad was a junior in high school. I bet my grandma had him go out, get some foil to put it on the rabbit ear antenna so they could get this clear. Come on. I can hardly even see that right now. I just got this professionally cleaned. My ring light's bright on it. It's reflecting.
Oh, okay.
I can't really see the screen anyways.
I see where we're going here. It's all right. It's in the history books, buddy. So it's out there. So, of course, I know you love Bucky Dent. You just don't want to say it right now. We'll say that for another day here on HQ. But as always, appreciate your time and the jersey swag. I wasn't expecting that.
Good. I like surprises.
Will Middlebrooks giving us a hot one this morning. Why not? He just couldn't wait to break out the hat and the jersey. We have not seen that on HQ.
Impressive enough. He can wear 2 undershirts the way we wear jackets. You can't even fit
and
it.
he can still fit it. Why not? All this time after.
Yeah.
My man. So check out the season series history between these two. We talk these elimination games. Look, this can go either way tonight. History has shown that 04 Red Sox won, 03 Yankees, and then, of course, 78. We just talked about it, which Will didn't really want to talk about, but it's all right. Yankees won that one not too long ago.
Want a sports network that delivers everything that matters about the game? The highlights, the picks, the instant analysis. No yelling, no fake debates, no politics. Hit the subscribe button and never miss a moment.